Well, greetings and good morning, Business 88 students. This is Mr.D, and this is week number 8 in our 18-week course in business communications here at JFE College. And this week, you're going to be looking at Chapter 5, Short Workplace Messages and Digital Media. And I believe you're going to also be doing a writing assignment, which would be a blog, a tweet, and a instant message. And I'll explain that assignment to you in this video. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to our class. Let's go ahead and go to Canvas. And here we are on the home page in our course. And we are actually in module number 2. So I'm going to select that. That's going to bring us to this week. So module number 2 actually started 2 weeks ago, but this is week number 2, or week number 8, but week number 2 in module 2. So there is a business writing video that I really want you to watch. We did do a session on business writing in this class, and it went really well. And so we recorded it. It's right there. I also emailed it to you, but this is really a must watch. And it's because it's really going to lay out for you what I'm looking for in all the writing assignments that you'll be doing in the course. And if you watch the video, chances are you're going to get a much better grade. And not only that, it's going to make it a lot easier for me to grade because a lot of times I'm pretty much instructing every student one at a time in business writing on their document. And so your grade is low and it puts a lot of extra work on me because I'm doing it over and over and over and over again. Where if you would just watch the business writing Zoom session, you'll hear it all at once. And so please watch that video. At some point, I'm probably just going to make it worth credit because it needs to be watched. And then there's a check-in assignment on Chapter 5, so make sure you do that. There's also that should be check-in assignment number 8, not 7, so we correct that. Somehow maybe I put the date, so I think because I was stretching this course out from a 14-week to an 18-week, so that's why it got a little messed up. We save that. So that's check-in assignment number 8. And you're just going to answer questions out of the textbook. And again, I say it over and over again, they don't have to be long, but also don't make them too short. Show me that you get the concept. Show me that you understand what I'm asking. And that's very important because I only ask you things that I think are important, and they're also going to help you in your writing assignments. They're also going to help you in your overall grade. So please make sure you do the check-in assignments and answer them thoroughly. There's a PowerPoint on Chapter 5. Make sure you review that. There's a quiz on Chapter 5, which you can take 3 times. So make sure you do that, and you can use that as a teaching tool. If you're not really sure, you can retake it. But the big assignment this week, and this is where we begin in Module 2 with business writing. So you're going to be writing your very first writing assignment, and this is basically what we call a digital channels. And by the way, your writing assignments are worth 50 points. So that's a lot. That's like 5 quizzes or 5 check-in assignments. So don't neglect this and make sure you put your effort and energies in. So you're going to basically be writing a blog, an instant message, and a tweet. So I'm going to go ahead and explain this writing assignment to you. For some reason, it's not launching for me. Why my computer is very slow. But it's basically, I'm going to give you a scenario that you need to write a blog for, and as well as a tweet, and as well as an instant message exchange. And basically what it comes down to is you're a social media manager for Apple Corporation, and your sales manager sent out a memo to all of the sales force throughout the country, throughout the world, and that memo got leaked to a really scrupulous reporter who wants to bring negative news against Apple. And so here it finally opened. So your job is to kind of mitigate and navigate that potential leak to the media from this particular scrupulous reporter. So if you look down here, so basically your assignment is, again, you're the director of social media, and your job is the Apple brand image, keeping it positive, etc. And this memo below down here, here's the memo that got leaked. And so what you need to do is read the memo, and it talks about basically it's a sales memo talking about how they're doing in their sales in the West Coast and the East Coast and how they're going to turn things around, etc. It's pretty simple, but there's a lot of information in here that you're going to be able to use in your blog and in your instant message. So an instant message is kind of like a text message exchange, but it happens on your computer. And so a reporter gets this memo that I just showed to you, and they send you an instant message, and they say, "Hey, Eric, I heard that Apple is going to lay off a bunch of people or fire a bunch of people." Now they've exaggerated what the memo says, but it does allude to the fact that there may need to be cutbacks. So they kind of dive right in, hoping to get you to give them information that they can then publish publicly to all the world, right? So as you can see, here's the first line of your instant message exchange is, "Hey, I'm Apple. I heard Apple is in trouble. They may fire a bunch of people. What can you tell me?" So now you're going to have an exchange and message exchange that you're going to make up with this reporter. You're going to make up what you say, and you're going to make up the questions that he or she is asking. So, and there needs to be 5 statements from you and 5 statements from the reporter. I gave you the first one, so 4 more. So basically, you're going to answer that first question. "Hey, I heard Apple's in trouble. They may fire a bunch of people." So now you're going to address that in your response. And again, the idea here is you're trying to keep everything positive. You're trying not to focus on the negative. And so if you just read the memo, you see there's a lot of plenty of positive things to mention. And so you're trying to redirect. And so as you redirect the first answer, you're going to come up with the second question, maybe a counter question that the reporter asks. And then you're going to answer that. Then you're going to come up with a third question that the reporter asks. So you're kind of creating this conversation with the reporter, and there should be 5 statements from you and 5 statements from the reporter in your assignment. That's part one. And then part two is you want to create a blog, and blogs are often the best way for a company to communicate to thousands and thousands of constituents what's really going on. So assuming that this reporter is going to write negative news about Apple, you're going to mitigate that by creating a blog that tells the truth. And you don't really even need to reference the reporter getting the leaked memo. You just need to promote what's really happening at Apple. And that is that there's great West Coast sales, and they got a lot of plans to turn things around. And yes, there's been some sluggish areas, but here's what we're going to do. So you're going to write a blog. Now remember, a blog is a visual medium. It's something that people look at, and it needs to be very attractive. It needs to be a picture with it. It needs to be a real catchy title. It needs to be very creatively written, and you should utilize all kinds of design elements, bold text, headings, bullet lists, short single-spaced paragraphs, and it should use all that stuff in it to make it very visually appealing. That's the blog. And then finally, you're going to do a tweet, and all a tweet is just a quick little message to all your constituents, driving them to your blog. So, "Hey, hear the good news about Apple," and maybe a few other comments, and then a hashtag, and then the website or something. And when they see that statement, they click it, it's going to drive them to a blog. And that's pretty much what businesses do with their digital mediums and media. So, or their social media. So write a tweet. It cannot be any longer than 140 characters, not 140 words, 140 characters. That's letters and spaces. So 140 letters and spaces is max. And I know that they've extended that, made it larger today, but I'm sticking by the old rule because I want to make sure that you can say a lot in a very short amount of space. And that's the assignment. So it's 3-parted. You got to do an instant message exchange, you got to do a blog, and then you got to do a tweet. And I would do them in those order if it were me. So that's the writing assignment for this week. It's worth 50 points. If you do everything I just said to you correctly, you'll get 50 points, no problem. If you skip things, if you don't use any design elements, you don't use a picture on your blog is too short or not written well, those kinds of things will bring your grade down. Or you don't make your tweet 140 characters, you make it 140 words, then you're going to lose points on all those. So that's it for week number 8. Sorry, right here. And if you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to me during my office hours, and I'd be happy to meet with you and discuss it in more detail if you need me to. So have a great week, everyone. You'll see me on video again next week. Till then, have a great one.